So, Jimmy, you have sustained a decade plus of success with the National Scouting Combine. If you want to just do me a solid here, share with me your vision. Because I always know you talk about your story and how you went from, you being in the position of these young athletes who are coming to the National Scouting Combine in January, and conversely, transforming that into what you have created. Talk to me two-part here. You've sustained a decade of success. How? And then number two, just your overall outlook with regards to the D2 and D3 schools, the HBCUs, the NAIA schools. You always seem to you open the door to everybody basically, and all walks of life come in. How do you formulate that?
That's a great question and something I could talk about for hours. But, first off, I based the entire National Scouting Combine off of my experience from my experience performing in the NFL Combine back in 2000. And while it's changed a lot, it was always about providing the athletes the absolute best testing. And more importantly, what do they do with the data? Opening up to everyone was always important because how often, do you, your staff, and every, media person out there talk about those who made it, those who were busts, what were they looking at, who got missed out on? The biggest thing about our event, and when you speak about my vision, it's how do we get to the point where we can take this thing, from where athletes, because they do pay to come to the event. Unfortunately, it costs money to run these things. And as we reach out and bring on more companies, more sponsors, more partners that can help us provide a better experience, a more cost-effective experience, especially these days when you're dealing with inflation and everything else, our goal is how can we make it, not just affordable, but as I tell every parent, agent, player, coach, whoever comes to the event, we need to make sure that it was worth your time and money. And knock on wood, over 12 years, we've had no complaints. It's one of these scenarios that the players know when they come in, it's up to them to showcase themselves. Not everyone likes the truth. No, not everyone's ready to accept the truth. But it's laid out very simple. Here's what you did. There's zero bias. There's no subjectivity in our testing or our reports. It is what it is. If you put the work in, you're going to get there. But the vision is to get to the point where we can start bringing in, especially the draft eligible athletes, at no cost. We're also looking to utilize our foundation. This is one of the more unique things this year is that as players, secure their spot through payments, we're working with our legal team to afford them the ability to, instead of pay the fee, donate the fee, which in fact would give them a huge return on their taxes because we're a private operating foundation, 501c3, and they get, 60% back. So, you do the numbers.
Yeah.
Our goal is to create a benefit, but the bigger vision is not just that, we have this event. It's how can we take this across the country, so that during the year we can help more free agents and more draft eligibles that didn't get a chance to come to our event or some of the bigger events or that need to retest and continue to promote themselves. How can we give them, the same type of testing? Obviously, the National Scouting Combine is unique because it's a multi-day event where they get everything, included: combine, media, interviews, access to scouts, meals, position drills, everything. What we would do, from there on out would be much smaller in scale. The other part of the vision is what we're working on at the high school level. As we've been running high school events. We've run events for volleyball, soccer, basketball, football, and that's why it's important for us to say that we are an athletic testing company. We're not just a football combine.
Right.
But the ultimate vision is to duplicate what we're doing at the high school level to create a national event. Imagine having the best athletes in the country, after going through a regional system and having something very similar to this. And it was discussed years ago at the NFL Combine, um, why that didn't exist and how it would be beneficial to the college coaches. We have the ability to do that. I won't go into too much detail because this is something that's in the works and in the plans. But honestly, the biggest vision for the National Scouting Combine is over the next 12 to 18 months, every eighth grader through the aspiring professional athlete is either waking up or going to bed thinking, if I want to get to the next level, I need to get to a National Scouting Combine.
Wow. That's huge. That's huge. Jimmy, I appreciate you as always, man. Thank you so much for your time. I'll see you in January. It's going to be a little colder than it normally is, so I'm going to make sure I pack heavy. But I mean, listen, 5 days, you're going into season 12, and it's going to be something truly each and every year. It just continually gets better and better. I appreciate you as always, my brother.
And
Thank you so
Eric, if
much.
I might join in, you make a very good point. It is cold. And in most of these events, even though they're played in the South, a lot of times
Yeah,
it's cold. We run our event in the best facility in the country, the Grand Park Event Center. It's
facts.
indoor, home to the Indianapolis Colts training camp. You don't get any better. You saw it. You saw how we've expanded and really aggressively upgraded. Because at the end of the day, while it might be cold, the weather's going to be perfect inside, and you really can provide a much better facility for athletes to perform in unless we go half an hour south to the Lucas Oil.
Yeah, you're right about that. Jimmy Kibble, CEO, National Scouting Combine, again, starts January 23rd of 2023. Listen, I'll shamelessly plug, say it. This bad boy is going to be live streamed from Monday through Friday. Just check out National Scouting Combine, whether it be on the website or their YouTube page. It's going to be a lot. And again, all the talent that comes to this event has the opportunity to simply show up and show out. Your man Eric Wilson for the Sports Arena. Everybody stay blessed. I'm going to holler at y'all. Say it. Done.
So I paused in the very beginning. Did you see it buffered in the very first segment?
It did.
Okay.
Yeah, you were frozen and then you came back in. So do you want to do that segment again?
I just want to make sure you didn't miss anything because sometimes you get the video, but you don't get, I mean, you get the audio, but you don't get the video.
Let me do this really quick. Oh wait.